Good music. Your friend will control dance.
What's in many and when you're hey,
Feel my vision, what you got for me? Feel my munching,
my wedding.
feel my soul, feel my soul. Feel my fire, and it's really all feel my soul. Feel my easy, but I guess I know. See, finest girl, in a million.
See the finest, you see finest girl.
She got a billion, so.
Anytime you see the sun, hey, see fine pals, gaga. This girl make me shy. Thank you for joining me. Yeah. Spray my shoes, spray my shoes. Say my don't change my weather. No one on the young shame me. But in not the be a woman, they are home for being a radio free healing.
Never shake up on which one was on a year. When I mean the one to the dominoes, you for the water.
Brandon wants it. Hey. The hottest girl in the world. I like him. Hey. Thank you, Oba Michael, for joining me, and thank you everyone who is watching me right now. I was on my live page, that's why I'm late. But hey, let's go. You know it. Hey, one can a million. Anytime me I see the girl, me I see her. She fine past gaga. This girl make me shy. Thank you for joining me. Traditional marriage, court marriage, white wedding. Hey. Prema to children's there for me. Prema don't change my wedding. Shame, it's so many to me. Or in the be a woman who fit in. But she am your son, a year woman. Two for me, won't time the hey, about the any cool. Brandon wants it. Hey. The hottest girl in the world, I like her. Thank you for watching. Adumaku Michael. Hey. That's right. Hey. Thank you very much. I'm late. I was on my other page doing live video. So I wanted to go there and see if I can share, but it doesn't give me much options to share the video. But anyway, I'm back here. I won't take much of your time. Today I'm going to talk about traditional marriage, court marriage, and all the white wedding. What is your intake? Do you want to join me? If you want to be live, just say I want to be live or add me and I'll add you, okay? Above Michael, thank you very much for watching, my brother. Thank you so much. You're awesome. He's the one who is doing my what you call it, my flowers and everything is doing great job, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about traditional marriage. Do you like traditional marriage, or you want a court wedding, or you want a white wedding? Which one lasts longer? I believe that traditional marriage lasts longer than white marriage or white wedding, whatever they call it, because I was born in 1972, so I'm talking about 70s, 80s, 90s, not 2000. Growing up, I saw that what I saw was traditional marriage. The women who were married as a traditional marriage stay married than women who were married as at a court wedding and white wedding. I didn't see a year wedding no aware no engine. Why is it that after the wedding, the marriage doesn't last longer? But traditional marriage, no, our no sumbo bibia. Today, I'm going to analyze it and tell you why. Maybe you're about to get married and you're going to have a second thought of it. And also the expense and everything that it comes with it. Oh, thank you very much. Also, wow. Koneduya, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for watching. Jones Amwakon and everyone. Eramma, Nyamiche, everybody that you're watching me right now. So growing up, I was, like I said, I'm 70, so I'm 72. What I saw, and say, Minana, any Minana be my worry, or Mutsna Hosa. Okay, and I mean, Papa, me, mamma, so worry, or Mutsna Hosa. There wasn't any white wedding, there wasn't anything about court wedding. Okay, so when you go to the marriage, you know, you are there because you are in love with the man. Number one, you are in love with the person. The person is the person that you want to be. Somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life together. Okay, so it's not like I'm going in because he's a man of God and blah 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 and this and this. No, you have the perspective, the idea. What do you call worrying? Totally different. Okay, into sekobasa a traditional marriage, you know, a check a sombo because traditional marriage won't go sign. You haven't signed any document in a court. Won't go sign document to be our court too. Into say and there be money worry. No one for any day if you don't humble yourself, if you don't treat him right, if you don't do the right thing, any member of his family can come and kick you out. And you can just get out of that house and you cannot take anything, or you are not entitled to anything because it's a traditional marriage. And no ekobasa, what do you call worrying? The mentality of going to the marriage, you know, is totally different because they can kick you out anytime. So you are going to humble yourself regardless of your beauty or your age, because maybe where you are coming from or whatever it is, or your education, or you're going to humble yourself because one, you love the man and you don't want anybody to take your place. Two, he's somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So you will cherish the person, respect the person, care for the person because you cherish it. Idea is sumbo. Adiene sumbo. It is say not to be because our way to say senka ema if seman yinani me be ya adwea. Marriage, men is like giving birth, okay? The love and affection and the care you care for your own child is the same thing that you have to care for your husband. Men doesn't grow. They don't grow. They are smart, they are intelligent, they are men, they are head of the household. They are the head. But one thing about men is that they don't grow. Men always act like children. They always do things like, come on, at your age, you shouldn't do that. But one thing about it is that they don't grow. They never grow. Why would a grown man still be breastfeeding? Like, seriously, why? Why would you want to breastfeed a grown-up man? I thought that breastfeed is for the babies. That tells you that they don't grow. Now, let me ask you this. Why am I saying that men don't grow? So cherish them and care for them like you do. For instance, when you wake up in the morning, you have children. What do? You ask your children, what do you want for breakfast? Okay, let me use my life as an example because maybe not everybody does that. Okay, for me, I'll ask my kids, what do you guys want for breakfast? I'll ask my husband, what do you want for breakfast? Okay, sometimes you go like, what does the kids want to eat? And I'll say, oh, maybe they want waffles, they want pancake, they want Ghana pancake, they want this kind of pancake, or they want oatmeal or something. He will be like, well, I'll eat whatever the kids are eating. See? Okay, it doesn't hurt to make your marriage work if you want to. Just treat your child, your husband, just like you care and love your own child. That's who they are. Men don't grow. My sister, men, they don't grow. And one thing about them is that even though Emma body in Naka, Mema you'll be a but they do it in a gentle way. You know, men, even when they are sick, you know how they are. When they are sick, they be quiet and doing that. You have to ask them, why are you quiet? Are you not feeling well before they tell you? You know, women, if I have a headache, the whole world must know about it too. Because I have a headache. You see how we are. They are gently. They don't complain much. If your husband is complaining, there's something that you're not doing right. There's something wrong somewhere. If your child is complaining, mommy, there's no food in the house, mommy this, won't you going to set your child down and ask them, why are you complaining too much? What is wrong? The same way you treat your child is what I'm expecting you to treat your husband. Because they are there to be loved and cared for. Okay? Now, one thing you need to put in your mind is that I'm talking about marriage, traditional marriage, white wedding, whatsoever. Marriage is something that you go in, you don't come back. That is why I always respect traditional marriage. Traditional marriage in Ghana, I'm from Ghana, so I always speak on my culture and everything. So if you're getting married, the idea, before you go to marry, there's certain things that in my culture they look for. One, so Juma, and I say if you are learning how to trade and everything, they want to make sure that you are professional or you're almost done or something, so that you are not going to be a burden to the man you're going to get married to. If you're in school, they want to make sure that you are graduate or you have a job or something. Or even if you want to do business, you have a lot of money to trade and everything. Or they'll make sure the man sets you up for business before you get married, so that you are not going to be a burden for the husband or for the husband's family. Okay, now since it's a traditional marriage and there's no court wedding, court this and that, there's no documentation, because traditional marriage, nobody give you marriage certificate that you're going to look at it and say, hey, this is my certificate. This man is mine. And I can do anything to him. I can disrespect him. I can talk to him anyhow. I'm not going to cook for him. He can cook for himself. Now, let me tell you, traditional marriage is not like that. That is why we say traditional marriage is the best marriage. Any man, if you want your marriage to last, I want you to try traditional marriage before you do the white wedding and all that. Do not rush into white wedding. Do not rush into this court, that. Because that gives those young women assurance to misbehave, to do unnecessary things. Now, let me tell you something. The moment you marry the woman and do the white wedding and court wedding and sign all the necessary documents, guess what? If she decided to leave, everything that you have is 50-50. Whether she contributed to it or not, you guys have to share. Okay, I'm not talking about properties and everything, but this century, what I see, they come to marriage with something, some kind of idea. They don't come to the marriage to stay. It's not for better, for worse. It's not like death do us apart. You see, the reason why marriages are not lasting longer is because you guys are giving them assurance. You guys are giving them certificates. You guys are giving them document that shows that he is your wife or she is your wife. So they can take that to court and decided to do whatever they want. But if the marriage is traditional marriage and you have no certificates, you have no evidence of whatsoever, what are you going to do? You go to the court, the man can deny of being married to you. What are you going to do? All right. So before you get married to someone, it has to be someone you love. Do not just marry because somebody's pushing you or your mates are getting married, especially women. Your mates are getting married, so you want to get married. It doesn't work that way. Okay. The best way you can do is getting married. Get married when you want to, when it's time for you to get married, when you're in love, when you love the person, it's the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That is the marriage I'm talking about. So when you have a traditional marriage and you guys build your future together at the right time, the next 10 years when you guys have done giving birth, the next 15, 20 years, you guys can have a blessing at church. Then you can have your court and your white wedding, because at that time, you both have worked together, acquired properties together, that you want to do things that just in case, if the other party is not around, the other one can take care of the children, or the children you're going to leave behind. That is the mentality. And also back then, when we are going to marriage, we don't think about I'm going to get married and divorce him. It has to be someone you love. Now, let me ask you this. If you love someone the way you love them, if you care for the person, if you love your child, would you leave your child for someone like, I don't want to have anything to do with them because my child is very bad, or this and this and that? No. Whether good or bad, you try to straighten them. You talk to them. You strengthen them. You make them. You give them strength. You give them ability. Give them assurance. You make sure they become the best to your ability, so that they will turn out to be a good man or a good wife or a good woman in the near future. That is the same way we need to treat our husbands. Okay? That is the same way. They are no different from children. Sometimes they have the knowledge, like I always say, they are smart and everything, but yes, sometimes they lack of certain things because they are still like babies. Okay, so let's make our marriage work, choosing the right thing. You may be a young woman or a young man watching me right now, and then you have decided to get married, but because of the financial aspect, because of the expenses of the wedding, of the engagement and everything, is pushing you aside. I want you to have a talk with the young lady or the young man you want to get married to. Tell them that, yay, you are the one I want to marry. You are the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. Let's forget about the wedding and the white wedding and all the expenses. Let's do traditional marriage. After traditional marriage and after years, if God bless us so much, we can do whatever we have to do. Do not live your life, you're married, to please people, your friends and everything. If your friends are going to laugh at you because you didn't have a white wedding, my dear, those friends are not to be in your life. They are not supposed to be part of your life anyway. Be anywhere. Obe slow. Because Adam for be your best support to say, Obenya the right man to get married to. The man who will love you, who will care for you. End of the day, it's about you and the man. Okay, you are building your future with them. Something that is going to last forever and not expenses. Because I've seen that a whole lot of white marriage and the court marriage and whatever marriages are the young couples, the young youth are doing right now doesn't last because they spend too much, and also they have different mindset when they go to marriage, and also the idea and everything is totally different. They don't go in because they love you. They go in because everybody's getting married. They want to be in a relationship or things like that. That's right. Okay, so that is how it is. So can we change our mindset when it comes to marriage? Can we change our mindset when it comes to wedding and all that? But let's focus about traditional marriage. So if you have a young man out there, like I said, have a talk with her, have a talk with him. Let's get married, or let's do something that we can it can build our future. Okay, we can live together, because nothing hurts most in marriage, and especially those who have wedding and all the court wedding and everything. After the marriage, if the woman find out that everything that you did was on debt or was on credit, that collapse the marriage. It doesn't make the marriage life. Because when I come to marriage or when I got married, the next thing is I want to enjoy everything. I want to enjoy the massage, the pampering, the vacation, the enjoyment, all the food that I couldn't cook in my parents' house, I'm going to cook in my house. But in the other way around, if the money that he used, the money that he borrowed to do the wedding was from debt or free bank, how would you feel? It just killed the whole. You need to spend the rest of your life nagging and all that because the marriage was in debt. Or what do you want to do? You want to stay married. When you go to married, make up your mind that I'm going to marry to stay married. Me kwa worry ni se metina worry nim. Me kwa worry se me kwa koja worry. And no de emfahwe ma ewa abrabo mu. Okay? Enti se wo kwa worry ma, make sure se obema no do no. Nothing to so no. Unkoye burden ema no. But the moment you have a mindset of spending this, I want this heavy wedding. Do you know that some people spend like $10,000 on a wedding gown? Something that you are going to wear it one day. And what funny is that a lot of young women will lose weight and go to gym because they want to fit in a sexy outfit, which is a wedding gown. Then, end of the within 3 months or a year, they cannot fit in that outfit anymore. What is the meaning of it? I always wear the same clothes that I've been wearing in 1970s and 80s because I always maintain my weight and I always want to look the same, because recycling your clothes is saving money. Being married is not about fashion. Being married is not about showing off. Okay? The moment you get married, you need to forget about other people. And if I were you, if you have friends that they're always expecting too much from you, distance yourself from them. People call me antisocial. I don't care. You can call me antisocial because I don't want to be your friend. I don't want any interference in my marriage. I don't want interference in my family. I don't want you to decide for me. I don't want you to be jealous of what I have. And I don't want to be jealous of what you have. You don't come to my house. I don't come to your house. I live in. That is it. That is how it's supposed to be. The marriage is between you and your spouse, and that's it. There is no other person, and that is how it's supposed to be. I hope I make a point today, and I do want to say thank you for watching me, because I always say that if you want a long-lasting marriage, do traditional marriage. Do traditional marriage. Let it last for 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. After some years, the kids are being born. I mean, it's so beautiful if you have kids. If you have kids after your traditional marriage, and I mean, what matter is that both parents witness the marriage. His parents, her parents, they all know that you guys are married. In the eyes of God, you guys are married. So what is big deal about this expenses of the wedding gown and all that and all the expenses? People spend $20,000, 20,000 pounds for a wedding. The money that you have never saw before. But do you know that you can use that money to buy a land and build a house? Like I told, is it 12 years ago, I was MC at one of the a young couple. They wanted to get married, and they were both graduated from school, getting a job and everything. I said, you know what, you guys are about to start a life. You live in 2-bedroom apartment that you rented, and then you want to get married, you want to do this and do that. That is way too much. Now listen to me, because I've been married for too long and I know the right thing to do. Okay, listen to me. If you guys can take it, or you guys can leave it. So I was talking to the couple and I said, instead of you having engagements and this and that and all the weddings for 3 days and all that, it is totally waste of money. What about this? See, you guys have seen both of the parents. Join them together. Let them understand the life and the journey that you guys are going through. Let them know that you guys is about to build a future and you don't want a debt ahead of you, because when are you going to pay the loan from the bank? They always have interest and everything. Okay? All right. So I told them, instead of how much have you guys saved so far to do the wedding? They told me, and I said, you know what, forget about the wedding. Let's do traditional marriage. And there's a land, 2 plots that someone is selling. Why don't you guys go ahead and buy the land in both of your name as a married couple? Buy the land. After the marriage, start building the land. You don't want to live in someone's house forever. Okay? You don't want to live there forever. So they listened to me. I went there. I was MC at the traditional marriage. They did everything. Was perfect, beautifully. They went home. I said, well, you bought the land. You guys start building a house on it. When you build a house, you guys can live in your own house. When things are you guys are comfortable, you have kids and everything, that's why you decided to do the wedding and the court wedding and everything. Because right now, you two have anything to gain. You just bought the land. That's the only property you have. What are you going to do? Wedding, then what? You don't have anything. So they listened to me and they built a house. They built their first house. They built a second house. Before they know, they already own 3 houses because they didn't waste money on unnecessary things. They gave 2 houses for rent and they were living in one. Within, I think, 12 years, they have 3 kids, which is growing up and everything. So one day they invited me to their home and I was so happy, and I said, wow, you guys have achieved so much. I said, yeah, because we listened and we realized that the best advice anybody has ever given to us. All right, so they built a home, and after that they decided to do a wedding. And they have a beautiful, they said they're going to have a blast. And it was the most beautiful ceremony you can ever be. They invited people from all over and it was a blast. That is what I'm talking about. At this point, what did they have to gain? They have life, they have children, they have properties together, and they're doing for better, for worse, because just in case anything happened, both of them or one person can take care of the other, knowing that there's a property that can also support them financially. Is that not how it's supposed to be? That is how it's supposed to be. Okay? So don't let us think about the property or what we can gain from the marriage only, but let's think about the person that we love, we care, and we cherish. Like I told you, the marriage supposed to be, or men supposed to be treated like our own children. The way we care for our husband, our kids, is the same way we should care for our husbands. If Thank you very much, Doris and Minister Samuel A. Osiahene. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you don't have food in the fridge and you think that your children are going to be starved to death, the same way you need to think about your husband, that if there is no food in the house, or no so you come bed no sense we nipa, or no so you be ba. It is a who treat na, who treat you on my year, and who treat you on see, because he's also like a child. Okay? You're supposed to be careful, even though he's the man who is providing for you and everything. Yet, you're supposed to care for him and cherish him and make it work. Well, like I said, I was already late, so I won't take much of your time. I do want to say a very big thank you to each and everyone for joining me. I really appreciate your time, your love, and everything. Thank you so much. I see all the love. And thank you each and everyone for joining me. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time, next week. I'm supposed to interview someone, but I saw him right here. So maybe we'll make an arrangement and we'll set up interview for next week. But if not, I always have a hot topic for you. That's pretty much all. So I just want to say thank you. I'll see you the same time next week, and it's bye-bye from me.
Good music.
Thank you for joining me. Hey. After this music, if you don't hear from me, my name is Freema Schultz. I'm trying to move the show to my like page, but it hasn't been successful yet. So if you don't see me here, I'll be on my like page. But thank you very much for watching. I love you. I'll see you guys next time. After this music, if you don't hear from me, it's bye-bye from me. Ciao. Anytime you see, hey,